Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Om Sruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Hari Om Kshudvyadhischa Chikitsyataam Pratidinam Vikshaushadham Bhujyatam Swadvannam Natu Yachyatam Vidhivashat Praptena Santushyatam Shitoshnaदिविषह्यताम् न तु वृथा वाक्यं समुच्चार्यताम् औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यताम् जनकृपा नैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम्. In this fourth verse, we saw two values, 2 pointers. Kshudvyadhischa chikitsatam, treat a disease called hunger. Pratidinam vikshaushadam bhujyatam. Every day, eat the food which comes to you, to a grahastha unasked. Don't demand. Whatever is come on the table. Less demands for a grahastha. Very lesser demands, more happy you are. For sannyasi, beg only 5 houses. Whatever food you collect, and then eat it. These 2 instructions. 2 more instructions are there, which we will see in this class now. Another next one is what? Swadvannam natu yachyatam. Swadu annam natu yachyatam. What is sutra? Beg not. Beg not. Or don't beg. Delicious food. Swadishta bhojan na yachata. ये सन्यासी के लिए लक्षण है. स्वादु अन्नम न tu yachatam. Swadvannam na tu yachatam. So do not beg delicious food. These are all instructions for a sannyasi. For a grahastha, do not entertain too many thoughts related to food. Do not all the time getting bound to the thought of delicious food. Oh, without that delicious food, I cannot survive. Food is not tasty, complaints, etc. So don't depend on too much on that. Whatever food is available, you can eat it without complaints and enjoy. So this is the instruction given to seekers of truth, spiritual seekers. Whether grahastha or sannyasi or a grahastha, don't get caught up with the thought of delicious food. That's the instruction. Now see, it is said the tongue is the first thing which gets activated. The moment we are born, we take the mother's milk. So there, the mouth or tongue gets activated. First thing, powerful. And it is last to go away. Right. So this is very powerful, especially food. Tongue is very, very powerful indriya. Number 1. Number tongue also is used for talking. So these 2 things are to be controlled. Over talking and overeating. Over talking, another instruction will come later on that we will see. Let us focus only on what this thought is. Swadu annam natu yachata. Now friends, a seeker must be very conscious Cautious of what? You should be very cautious. Cautious of what? Not getting attached to the food. Not only seekers in the world, there are many professions. You cannot do well in those professions if we are you or I or we are attached to the food. So the overindulgence or the preoccupation of the thought with the food should not be there. For example, army. If you work in army, or if you are working in some places where your regiment is posted in a very good city or town, you may get that also, you may get whatever food is, but especially all those people who are in the war zone or in the what do you call it, high altitudes, especially in India, Siachen Glacier, or on all those people who are protecting the country at the borders. And life is extremely tough there. Suppose they are disturbed by the food thought, they can't do their job. Similarly, another police, not all the time they get all the tasty food, but sometimes some duties, sometimes some special duties. Bandobast, they say that. Here, there, that, there, and here you have to protect, and then the security. Sometimes they may not reach home also. Whatever is available, they eat some tea or snacks or some kind of a thing, and they continue to do their duties. That profession. And also doctors. Not all the doctors, but some doctors are who are very busy in their schedule. They may not get the right time, right food. Some surgeons, some physicians, or some doctors, those who are on different works of different rounds or villages they go, or whatever, farm workers. They are also, you will not get. So many professions are there. Many professions are there. Not only this, and then workers also. Labor, those who take contract on, they go to different areas to work there. Their house is somewhere in the village, and they have to work somewhere, and somewhere they stay. The contractor provides them some shelter, and they stay there. Not much any amenities there, and whatever food is given, they just quietly eat. So swadu annam natu, even for many professions in this world, if we attracted attached to food, we cannot do our work, we cannot focus. And what about spiritual seeker whose mind has to be withdrawn completely from the world and divert that attention towards the Lord for meditation and self-realization? It's too tough. If mind is leaked out, attached to food, tasty food, we cannot progress. This is one part of it. And as we saw, what is the food? Food is a medicine. Food is a medicine. So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives us that, you should master your mind. Let the thought of food not occupy your time, your emotions. Let it not drag your mind onto the road of sense objects. No complaints as regards to food is considered. There's one Mahatma. Another Mahatma mentioned in a book about that Mahatma. That Mahatma always cooks his own food. And he doesn't talk and he doesn't ask anybody. So he maintains mauna. Only during Pravachan time he comes and talks. Rest of the time he just locks himself in his own room. And so he cooks his own food. 10 days. Someplace he went for lectures. Since he cooks his own food, before the yajna begins or talks begin, his disciples or somebody will give an entire list of the items to be kept in the kitchen. Rice, wheat, vegetables, and all things are stored for 10 days without forgetting anything. Because this Mahatma will not ask anything. And one day, a lecture he was giving, once it happened it happened that 10 days of session was over. Later on they found that the salt was not kept in the kitchen. And this Mahatma never asked anything, never informed anybody that there is no salt, that you have forgotten. Without any salt, he ate food for 10 days. And you know one thing, those who are eating salt every day, let's like a low salt. Suddenly saltless food you cannot taste. He never talked about it. That means that thought absence of salt did not disturb him at all. He was just cool and quiet and joyful. And another thing, example, Samartha Ramdas. I heard this from another Swami, Samartha Ramdas. It seems he was very fond of payasam, kheer. Was very fond of the kheer. So one day, his mind, always wanting kheer. So one day he asked, he thought that what is this? My mind is attached to kheer all the time. The thought of kheer comes. So what he did one day, he bought one big pot of kheer and he drank stomach full not up to brim. The windpipe also filled. That much he ate. He drank that payasam and he emptied the pot. And he vomited that in the same pot. Don't think otherwise. I'm giving this example. It's not so pleasant to hear also. He vomited that in the same pot. And again he drank that. His own vomit. And told the mind, enough now, enough, are you enough? Is it enough now? How much you want? And 2-3 times he did and then mind said, no, I will not eat kheer again in my life. I will not get attached to it. So that's some certain times, we get attached to one particular item of food, a particular thing. We must really come out of it, at that attachment also, so that also doesn't disturb me. No item should disturb me. No food item should disturb me. Think. That is the approach Bhagavan Shankaracharya is wanting in all of us. Absolutely become free. Another thing I'll just tell. During the Vanaparva in Mahabharatam, Arjuna was in heaven. Swarga he went for 5 years. And helping Indra in fighting with Nivata Kavachas. There are some evil forces in the creation. So Arjuna went to fight with them. Indra said, you fight with them, complete the assignment, then go back to earth. And in meanwhile, I am also teaching you some dance and music, etc. Plus also weapons for that. So one day, Lomasha Rishi went to Swarga. Then Arjuna conversation, Arjuna said, Rishi, you just go to my brothers and take them to for a pilgrim tour all over the country. Otherwise, they are crying, thinking, sitting in one Kamika Vanam or Advaita Vanam, they're crying constantly. So to go there and to give my message and let them all travel. I'm just shortening it. So they went. Rishi went and met Yudhishthira and said, "This is what I am coming from Swarga." Immediately all of them asked, "How is Arjuna, etc.? He is fine, learning so many things. Now he has message for you all." Indra also sent a message to them. Message is, don't sit there and quiet, remembering Arjuna and crying and with sorrowful minds. Get up and do Tirtha Yatra. So before Tirtha Yatra began, because there are many Brahmanas and also sannyasis were with Yudhishthira. During that, many yatis are there. During the Vanavasa also, so many all followed him. Not only 5, as we see in films. Many were. So he addressed all of them. We are going on a yatra now. So he says, those who depend on begging food, that is sannyasis and brahmana, they want to beg food. And during the yatra, where can you beg? So you stay back in forest and eat some kind of roots and fruits, etc. and survive. So you please don't come with me to get dropped. And second, he said, those who are accustomed to cooked food, stay back. Don't come with the yatra team. Cooked food. And those who cannot control hunger, one day you may not get food at all. Don't come with me. Drop. And those are attached to sweets and such kind of items of food. Don't come with me. Get dropped. Like that, he removed many of them from the yatra list. And he said only those who are willing to come for the yatra with these conditions. Especially all the instructions, most of the instructions are what? Are given related to food only. Some yatris also, South Indians go to North India, North Indians go to South India. And they complain, we did not get this, we didn't get that, we didn't get that. Oh, rice is we did not get, curd we did not get. And so many complaints, so many. Then they go back, and then the moment they come to Delhi or anything plains in Haridwar, Rishikesh, from mountain, they attack nearest restaurant and try to eat as much as they want. This is so much of difficulty to control. Therefore, swadu annam natu yachata. Okay. Now, let us just expand this a bit more. Now, anna means what? Food. Food that we take in. Not only the food that we are talking about, the food that we eating food, but whatever mind is gaining through sense organs, the craving to enjoy the pleasant sense objects through the sense organs is also, so those sense objects grasped by sense organs and dropped in the mind, so mind is enjoying those things. That also is called bhoga. That also is called swadishta bhojan. Bhojan here means what? Not only gross food. Bhojan means any sense stimuli, pleasant sense stimuli that enters into us through eyes, ears, nose, and skin, apart from tongue. What is food? That is food. The anna becomes. Swadu annam natu yachita means what? Seekers who are attached to love so many comforts. Then we cannot. Mind is filled with always, so many comforts we want in our yatra, in our sadhana also. So mind is attach it to how to make myself comfortable chair, comfortable this, comfortable. Basic things required. You must understand what Shankaracharya is talking about. So where we are caught up in different sense objects, pleasant bed should be soft or anything, food should be good, and the scenery in the before ashram should be very beautiful, scenic beauty. And somebody comes and next building comes and blocking the sun, and I get suffocated, frustrated. So there was a beautiful view now. This building has come up, and then therefore I cannot see that, this and that. The nature's beauty. We're caught up. Some people are so much, they go to Himalayas and different places and they get attached to different scenic beauties. Oh, that's a beautiful place. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. It is beautiful. But the more I praise and more I get excited, it's a kind of attachment. So for a spiritual seeker, we should not hanker after many types of food that enters through our sense organs. That is in the form of various comforts. Do not beg them. Not to yachata. Why? Desire is a bondage. Desire is a bondage. So therefore, it's very clearly, therefore, when you ask for food, it is dharma. I need food to eat and survive. Asking always, very tasty food, that is not a good sign. If you get it once a while, tasty food, okay. But I don't again repeat the thought, I got this today, gulab jamun. Tomorrow also I hope somebody will give me. So that's how the mind again slowly getting into the worldly objects and gets stuck up there. So this Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji says, don't do it. And then another one section is what? Vidhi vashat praptena santushyata. So live with contentment. Whatever comes to you from the Ishvara as a prasad in your life, the food that comes to you, vidhi vashat, as per my vidhi, as per my destiny, lalata likitam, it's a fate. Whatever my prarabdha, according to prarabdha, I get some food. Whatever prarabdha brings me, vidhi vashat praptena santushyata. So one should feel contented with what? With the whatever you get as ordained by Ishvara. Be contented. This is another instruction. Contentment. It's not that, we completely avoid food. That is wrong. You cannot survive. Bhagavan Buddha did and realized, and he drank kheer, and then he said, no, total giving up food is bad. Getting attached to food also is bad. This sloka, natyashnatastu, what do you call, yogosti, nachaikantamanashnataha, najati swapnashilasya, yogo bhavati kasyana. So one who eats more, one who eats never, completely one who doesn't eat, or one who eats more, both cannot become yogis. So moderate. Yukta ahara viharasya. Yukta cheshtasya karmasya. So everything is moderate in eating, in walking, in working, and in sleeping. Moderate. For him, for a one who is very moderate, to that man, his practices will benefit him. That kind of practice, spiritual practice to him, becomes the remover or inhalator of all the sorrows. It destroys all unnecessary sorrows. So, the swadvannam natu yachatam vidhivashat praptena santushyatam. Vidhivashat means what? You know, prarabdha karma. According to prarabdha, whatever you get, be happy with it. What is prarabdha? Destiny. What is destiny? Karma phalas being rolled out, being delivered in this life. When karma phalas started delivering the fruits between birth and death, our destiny, our purva karma, if out of entire karma, some karma I take out for this life. Ishvara decides, and my own vasana. So powerful, strong, some life is designed by Ishvara. So certain vasanas are come out of the total vasanas, karmas. So some karmas start fructifying in this life, between birth and death. So those vasanas, when they started fructifying in this life, started giving fruits, that is called prarabdha. Arabdham started. So they started giving fruits. Prarabdha karma. So according to prarabdha, what is that we get? Three things are very important. Janma, Ayu and Bhoga. All these three are the result of destiny. Janma, birth, Ayu, longevity, and Bhoga, experiences that we are supposed to go through in this life, are all fixed. Therefore, friends, remember now, very important. Sannyasis, spiritual seekers, they put their efforts. Suppose according to destiny, I am getting headache. Of course, I put my best efforts to go to doctor and take a tablet and some pill and then get rid of it. That's good. That's fine. That purushartha is required. Self-effort is required. But now what importance is that? Very important sannyasi. What sannyasi does? They don't put their efforts in many of the areas which are not so important for their own spiritual evolution, such as food. So they don't put a lot of efforts and thought and thinking about what to eat, kahan khayenge, water break kahan karenge, khane ka break. The sadhu doesn't matter, it just goes. He needs food. But he doesn't put any efforts in that. Like Ajagara Vritti, Python. It doesn't go move anywhere. He says that whatever comes to me, Dattatreya Gurus, whatever comes to me, Yadruchikam, unasked, I eat and remain happy. So, in life, Prarabdha delivers some fruit. So, let us not put our Purushartha efforts in all those areas which are not so important. They are required, but they are not that important that we need to alter them. Like, food is served, somebody served only some one night. Oh, then I'm not happy. Then good to get out of that place and then go to a hotel or another house or struggle. And this extra struggle energy is waste. Because spiritual seeker says, whatever I got today, very happy with it. I'm quite contented, very good. So I'm happy with it. So I cannot complain. I need not complain. They don't put most efforts in there. In some areas, they put effort. Sadhana, in controlling the mind, in giving training to the mind. All those areas we must put our effort. So, vidhivashat praptena santushyatam. So, these spiritual seekers put their efforts only in the related to spiritual matters. Most of the things they don't have to, they are not so important. They are required, but they are not so important to the extent that one should lose their attention. One should invest all their energies and planning in those areas. One should understand in your life, what are those areas which are required, of course, and not to put much efforts in that. Let the prarabdha play, I don't mind in it. So this is how you have to understand in your own life, each one of us. So vidhivashat praptena santushyata. So So what you meet in life is destiny. How you meet is free will. So according to destiny, we get food, clothing, shelter, people, experiences, destiny. So Vidhi brought, change your attitude towards that food and take food without much complaints. Otherwise, what happens, when destiny I come across a destiny. I'm facing the destiny, and unpleasant destiny. Instead of quietly going through and exhausting the karma, because then I call it as unpleasant, I'm reacting to it. Then I try to alter it by putting another desire next to the prarabdha, that I must have this, I must have do this, I should not have this kind of thing. So next time I want. So we plant desires next to our own each experience. So more and more plants seeds we are putting in the ground. Each seed again will come up a tree, and then each tree will have many seeds. Think how we are caught up. So let the karma come and exhaust. Vidhivashat praptena santushyata. Any kind of experience. It is not worth to spend time in these areas. Self-effort is required only in spiritual matters. I put my self-efforts. In most of the areas of my life, I need not put so much of self-effort, because it's all destiny. It's okay. There's not a big problem. This clarity is required. Therefore, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Vidhivashat praptena. Because he said in the previous instruction, don't beg the delicious food. Then how to survive? Whatever you get as per your destiny. Get all those experiences you get through all sense organs. Whatever destiny brings, it's okay. Quite be happy, quite contented. I don't have to add desires. Destiny gave me a thatched hut. That's okay, fine. Suppose I desire, I want building, multi-storied building on my name. Then the real struggle and bondage and bahirvritti, the thoughts will go around into the world, turned outside, it goes into the world. And all that center, maintaining the center, our spiritual center, all that goes away. Vidhivashat praptena santushtata. This is the another. So 4 points are told. The first 4 pointers in the 4th sloka are related to food. There are general instructions. Some more instructions are given. 4 more are there in this sloka. So we can start in next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj. Thank you all. Hari Om.